What if the most traumatic day of your life suddenly became a debate? We're talking about a 9/11 survivor whose personal history is now being questioned right where it happened. Let's dive in.
Okay, but first, you know the drill. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss our next explainer. Seriously, you don't want to miss it.
Just picture this for a second. Someone looks you dead in the eye and asks you this. A question that basically says what you saw, what you lived through, didn't happen.
And now imagine they ask you that while you're standing at ground zero, the actual spot. Yeah, that's what's happening to the woman we're talking about today. So let's meet Christina Stanton. For her, New York City isn't just, a grid of streets. It's everything. It's her passion. For 30 years, she's been a licensed tour guide here. That's 3 decades of showing people this city she loves. It all started back in '93 as a side hustle. She was chasing a Broadway dream, but she kind of found a different kind of stage, the streets of New York. Her whole goal was simple: get visitors to fall head over heels for this city. But then 2001 happened, and her life, the city, everything changed. Suddenly, her story was welded to the story of the World Trade Center.
September 11th, she's on her balcony, just 6 blocks from the towers. And these are her own words. She sees a passenger jet roar just above our heads and crash into the South Tower. She saw it, a direct eyewitness.
And then the unimaginable. The towers fall. She and her husband are trapped in what she describes as a toxic snow dome of dust and debris. Can you even fathom that? So she's barefoot, covered head to toe in ash, totally lost. They just wander for hours until they're finally evacuated off Manhattan by boat. She's a survivor, plain and simple. Okay, so fast forward, more than 20 years later, she's back at ground zero, but now she's fighting a totally different kind of war. This one's a war on truth. See, her job used to be pretty straightforward, right? She's the guide, she talks, the tourists listen. Easy. But now? Oh no. Now it's a constant debate. Every little thing she says is challenged, all seen through this crazy filter of political polarization. Challenge number 1. She'll be talking about how they're raising Battery Park to deal with rising sea levels. And boom, someone shouts, "There's no such thing as climate change." Challenge number 2. She points out a solemn place, like the AIDS Memorial, and suddenly she's getting dirty looks and people muttering under their breath about DEI. Okay, challenge 3, and this one is just wow. For 30 years, she told people Trump Tower had good public bathrooms. Practical advice, right? Now, people complain she's telling them to take a dump in Trump Tower. It got so bad, her boss told her to just stop mentioning bathrooms. Challenge 4, they're at the 9/11 Memorial, which is basically a cemetery. She politely asks the group to remove their MAGA hats out of respect, just like you take off any hat. They do it. But she knows right then she's risking her entire career. One bad review could get her blacklisted. And the last one, number 5, the non-stop exhausting flood of conspiracy theories, especially about World Trade Center 7. And that, right there, brings us all the way back to that insane question from the beginning.
But here's the thing. For Christina, this isn't some abstract political debate. This isn't just facts. This is her life. This is her history.
Right now, today, she is battling uterine cancer. And that cancer has been officially linked to the toxic dust she breathed in on 9/11. The air from that day is literally still inside her, still affecting her. And get this, now there is talk of cuts to the 9/11 Health Fund, the very fund that could pay for her treatment. So when she tells her tour groups about this, she's not trying to be political. She's just telling them her truth, her reality. But even with all of that, you know what her final message is? It's about resilience. She tells everyone, whatever your politics, your biases, your fears, that New York always endures. So it really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? In this world where everything's a debate, whose story do you actually believe? And what happens when a survivor's own experience is just treated like another opinion up for grabs? So what do you think about all this? Drop your take in the comments. Let's talk about it. And hey, if you think these stories matter, go ahead and hit that like button. Thanks for watching.